Annyeonghaseyo friends, and welcome back to the Torsie channel for more IU, and happy Friday to you, and happy pieces, we're still going. We're going to watch Winter Sleep, the live clip, which I am super excited to listen to. On the theme of Winter Sleep, over on Patreon today for the Torsie Talks K-pop podcast, we are doing a full lyric breakdown. I've gotten right into this one. I've gone deep. I've gone very deep. So if you'd like to join us for that, the link to Patreon is in the description. We are also going to be watching some IU TV. There's a little story that IU has for us about making other singers cry at the MMAs. I don't know what that's about, but I'm keen to find out. And of course, we are continuing with Hotel de Luna. We watched episode 12 yesterday. That was a whirlwind of emotion. Generally, what I'm saying is IU has had me like really like this. This week. And I'm bracing myself, we're gonna have a bit more. Let's get into it. Gotcha.
내일은 봄 여성이 꺾었다 너의 방문 앞에 두었어 긴 잠 실컷 자고 나오면 그때쯤엔 예쁘게 피어있겠다 별 띄운 여름 한 컵 따라다 너의 머리맡에 두었어 금세 다 녹아버릴 텐데 너는 아직 혼자 쉬고 싶은가 봐 너 없이 보는 첫 봄이 여름이 괜히 왜 이렇게 예쁘니 다가기 전에 널 보여줘야 하는데 꼭 봐야 하는데 내게 기대어 조각잠을 자던 그 모습 그대로 잠들었구나 무슨 꿈을 꾸니 깨어나면 이야기해줄 거지 언제나의 아침처럼
The end of my nose started to go part of the way through that, which usually means tears are about to follow. So I held them in. I deserve a medal. Oh, what a beautiful performance. I talk in the podcast about how this sounds like a lullaby, and performing it like that even more so. I mean, it works so well with a song that is called Winter Sleep. Of course, it would have a lullaby sound to it. Starting the way it does, or the way that performance did with just the piano and then the cello coming in with just her voice, is very classical lullaby, which I find particularly supported by the times where she hums. Everybody always semi-knows a lullaby, and you start singing it and then you kind of forget a bit, but you remember the tune, and so you hum it a little. It feels very natural to a lullaby. There's a really distinct shift in the song after the first chorus, where we've gone from spring to summer and we have the first chorus, and then we go to autumn and winter. The first half is all about when you wake, and the second half has far less of that sense of this person who's going to wake. In this performance, what happens musically is the band comes in, and suddenly these instruments that are far less traditional to a lullaby cut into the space and makes it distinctly less lullaby-ish, and instead more like an ode to somebody, a ballad that is dedicated to somebody. It cuts the song in two, and like the seasons, changes enormously. I got distracted by her hand. Oh, I'm going to make myself cry. Distracted by her hand part the way through it, because she does, and we've seen it with so many of her performances, she really lives the song as she's performing it, especially songs like this, and we saw it with Love Poem, and she does it with Dear Name as well. She closes her eyes and lives inside the song as she's singing, and she had her hand palm up on her lap, which is a gesture of begging. And this moment during her performance with her palm face up and her body started to fold in on herself, which is very much another gesture of begging. She's singing about cold so sharp and shocking that it goes all the way to your bones and makes your shoulders curl in, and she herself curled in. It's that cold sharpness of loss. And yes, cold will make your shoulders hunch, but so will crying, so will begging, which is one of the stages of grieving. And this is very much a song of grieving. Even just for a moment, she took her whole body with it as she sang that. Incredibly moving. And I'm so grateful to you all. As you all know, my dog passed away recently. And this album came out, and many of you immediately sent me this song saying, I hope this brings you some comfort. So kind of you. Very grateful, so kind of you. What's so wonderful about that is what a testament it is to IU and her understanding of grief, or the stages of grieving, and the things that we do to comfort ourselves during that period. And so she has created a song that, in listening to it, will provide us comfort. But in and of itself, it is a song about finding comfort during grief. It happens to both sing of it and provide it at the same time. You're a diverse group of people. You're from all over. Half the time I don't even know where. We're from everywhere. And so many of you from all different places recognize this song all at once as a song that recognizes grief and brings comfort for it. And when you saw me in grief, sent it to me in comfort. I say, and I will always say again, that IU has the most spectacular understanding of human experience. And if ever you needed an example of how well she hones in on that experience, that would be it. That all of us had the same response to this song. Really, could there be any greater example of just how well she is able to express our hearts? We are all just beating hearts. And a song like this exposes that. I don't know why I thought I might be able to get away with not crying. Why did I think that? I'm going to need everybody to jump in the comments and put all of your favorite either IU comfort songs or IU pick-me-up songs, because I feel like we need a little, just after all this crying, we're going to need like a couple of days, a couple of Fry You days where we get a bit perky. So jump in the comments and definitely let me know what that is. Ugh, I think I'm going to be thinking about that moment of begging for quite some time. Even people who aren't religious find themselves trying to bargain with God or the gods or the universe. Give this back to me and I'll do anything. Anything. Make this untrue and I will do anything. So in a song that is about grief and the passage through time and the passage through its stages, to see that moment of bargaining in her body with the upturned begging hand. And it's so natural. She's an incredibly unaffected performer, just wildly unaffected. For her to naturally curl into that position is that physiological response that we have that goes along the psychological response that we have to the same thing. She so cleverly and intellectually and emotionally intelligently wrote a song about these stages and then just quite naturally with her body experienced them, which is so admirable for somebody who is so clever. There's a great danger of someone so smart that they will over-intellectualize everything and live just in their head and not be able to express it in any other way. But she has an uncanny ability to obviously apply her intellect to the writing process and learn it and know it and get it into her brain and then just let it go and let everything else happen naturally. And so her body and her performance follows on naturally without being manipulated by her intelligence. That's a real skill. A lot of the time people end up going to drama school and stuff like that in order to learn how to get their brains out of the way so they can perform naturally. People pay good money to learn that skill and some people never do. And that is what she does. And that's an element of her performance that shouldn't go overlooked, because it's very difficult, especially for somebody who is truly intellectual and truly clever the way she is. It's very easy when you're that smart to just live in the smarts and let the rest of it decay, but she doesn't. Super, super admirable. That should never be overlooked, ever. Why, oh why did I think I wasn't going to cry? Why? Ugh, honestly. Please do, as I say, drop in the comments what your IU comfort songs are and what your IU pick-me-up songs are. And I think maybe we might choose one of the pick-me-up ones relatively soon so we can have a bit of a party together. It is the new year after all. Thank you so much for joining me for another IU day. 감사합니다 and 사랑해요, and I will see you soon for more. 안녕.